Know Me Yet Podcast Network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Welcome everybody to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I got my girl Tanisha the Diva Mahomes with me, and we got our boy Darren Smith. What's up?
What's going on, ladies? Always glad to be in the service one more time.
Yeah. He called last night. He was upset. He's like, I ain't heard from y'all. I said, oh man, we haven't shown you no love. So
And hold on. And then the first thing he says, me and Tanisha will call you right back. And then you see
she didn't
that
answer.
call never came in.
You know, Tanisha don't answer the phone. Oh, yeah, he did clown you because Tanisha had that knee replacement surgery. What'd you say? How many knees?
6.
Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. I've been through hell since April the 2nd with this knee. I had the first one in 2021. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. That's not life. I'm over here struggling. I mean, I'm on a struggle bus for real. But, hey, I'm going to make it. Y'all know the Diva's
You're gonna be all right. You a whole lot better than you sounded that first night because you was talking about skeletons and some other stuff, and I said oxycodone is not for you.
Hold up. I still don't believe the shit y'all was saying. Yeah, I still don't believe
you think me and Jay made up something.
Yeah, I was just trying to express the fact that I had been to church on Easter Sunday, and next thing I know, y'all talking about skeletons in the closet.
No, we were not talking about skeletons. You were talking about skeletons and being robbed. I told Jay, tell Tanisha I love her. I'll talk to her later.
That's awful.
Because you weren't gonna drag me with that, but that's a whole different story.
So you went to church for Easter?
Yes, I did, and it was wonderful, and I was so excited about this church that apparently Oxycontin took over, and who knows what I said.
And the church is still standing, huh? The pews didn't fire up, and
I do not know. He just the way they broke it down, it was absolutely out of pocket. The Lord would not accept me. So I don't know, but I'm just happy. I got I'm almost a month in now with the knee surgery. So
yes,
hopefully the Diva will be getting back to her not high school, but let's just try 30-year-old figure.
Yeah.
We're not going back to high school.
No, we ain't trying to go back there. You look like a crackhead. You go back to high school.
Right. All right, guys.
All right.
So let's talk about it.
Let's jump in it. So yeah, we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna let you two go at it. So let's talk about the NFL draft. I'd like for y'all to start with the top 10. So y'all give me your perspective on the top 10. The order in which they went. What were the surprises? Darren, you the guest. We're gonna kick off with you.
So let me just make sure. Are we talking about the top 10 as took place in the draft, the top 10 picks, the first 10 picks?
The top 10 picks.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, when it comes to Caleb Williams, I think everybody, kind of knew that the Bears were going to go in that direction. Now, there wasn't really a lot of talk of what they were going to do with their second pick, which was number 9. A lot of people thought they might have gone with the offensive tackle direction, to add some protection to them. But sometimes, you'd like to strengthen your strength, and you want to put a lot of offensive weapons around them. And I thought that they did an excellent job with putting Rome Odunze, with picking him. I know I had read a report that he and Caleb were both on the same airline, same flight to Chicago.
Didn't he say he was flying the plane? You didn't see the caption where Roman said he was flying the plane? Yeah, we know that wouldn't happen, but yeah.
But when I saw that, he spoke. Caleb has spoke real high on him and said that he would love for the Bears to be able to take. Now, Caleb also said he would like for them to take one of his high school teammates who was a left tackle that got drafted as well, but it ended up being Rome Odunze, and so I thought that was a good choice for them. Marvin Harrison going to Arizona was a no-brainer. You give Kyler Murray every chance to succeed, and why not do it with the best wide receiver in college football? And so for people who are upset by them not doing nothing at pro day, the combine, he was able to do that. I think the biggest surprise for me was Joe Alt because I thought at number 5, I thought that the Los Angeles Chargers were going to go with the wide receiver to get some help to Justin Herbert, with Keenan Allen and the other wide receiver not being there any longer. So that was kind of surprising. But Jaden Daniels, number 2 um, to DC,
Will
I like
Commander.
that. Yeah, to the
I like that
I
too.
I like that as well. I mean, he's also got some good talent around him as well. So those two should be good. Malik Neighbors
Hold on.
to
Let me jump in. Tanisha, you look like you want to say something about one of the picks Darren was talking about.
Yeah, the Joe on pick. Actually, we live streamed our picks as they were going, and we only missed two in the top 10, and the Joe Alt pick was one of them. But I had JC Latham, which at the right position, the wrong guy. I
yeah,
thought they were going with him, and they ended up going with Joe Alt. I think Joe Alt is a great player. I maybe had him a little. I had him a little bit lower. I had him seventh pick. I had him going to Tennessee, but I just basically rotated the two. And then when Tennessee came around, I went with JC Latham, and there it
So
was.
not a bad pick, just a surprise pick at that time.
Yeah, I
yeah,
just that he went higher than what most people had anticipated. But then it's Harbaugh, so you got to think about that. His system is different. So yes, did they need a wide receiver? Of course they did. You got rid of Keenan Allen. You got rid of Mike Williams. Yeah,
yeah.
you need wide receivers, but everybody knows how he builds his system, and I had a feeling he was going offensive tackle. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was, and look, I was surprised with the quarterbacks after Daniels. I did not think Drake May, nor especially JJ McCarthy, were top 10 picks. Michael Penix Jr. I thought he was. I just, I think like everyone else was shocked that he went to Atlanta. I
Well,
don't.
let's stay there. Stay with that thought because
Yeah, I
there's
was
a
gonna
lot of
say, yeah,
conversation going back and
like I
forth
said,
about that.
I don't mind the pick once you hear the explanation and then totality. I know a lot of people because even I was at the time at the Chiefs facility when they drafted him. I was like, I said, "Dang, what about Kirk?" But then I realized Kirk ain't Tom Brady. He ain't Aaron
He's
Rodgers. He
he's coming off
so
a ace. He's coming off an Achilles injury. It's
yeah, and so for me, I'm like, bro, you got 100 minutes regardless. Like you got to like however it plays out, you've got $100 million. Now, I question why the Falcons would have signed him. When you end up drafting a quarterback anyway, but I mean, because for the price that you paid for Kirk Cousins, you could have got you 3 defensive players, another offensive player, for the amount of money that you spent on one quarterback, on top of drafting a quarterback who is really able to, for me, play right away, start right away for the team.
okay, and that's fair. But here's my thing. People are complaining about that pick, but one, I thought Penix was absolutely worthy to be a top 10 pick, but for
Yeah,
whatever reason, they were acting like, his injuries or whatever. So I'm not mad that he went in the top 10 because I thought he was a top 10 talent. Okay, so let's start there. Secondly, um, the fact that everybody's talking about the money that they spent on Kirk Cousins, basically what 3 years that they're locked in or whatever. Okay,
really.
hell, have we not
It's
heard?
really too. You were right, Tanisha, when we were having
Yeah,
a conversation the other day because you said look
yeah,
at the details of the contract. So he's
yeah.
got a
Look at
$50 million to sign, and
yeah,
then they give him. So that's this year, and then they give him another 50 next year. He's gone. He can go.
dude.
That
And then
180 doesn't even come into play.
have we ever even heard of the dead cap anyway? And let's talk about it. This the price of doing business. If you really believe that Penix is your guy, and everybody has ever said that, if you truly believe that that's your franchise quarterback, you do what you need to do to get him. And I don't care about the fact everybody's like, oh, they paid him so much money. You know what? You probably shouldn't have paid Kirk that. I want to know his agent because the man is brilliant. The amount of money he's brought him in.
Yes.
But on
How
top
many?
of
And
that,
one playoff win.
yes,
Hey,
on
hey, 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 look, ask the Denver Broncos if they care about dead cap money.
That's my point. And so people keep talking about the money. Hell, it's gonna be a nowhere near as brutal as what they did with Russell. And guess what? if that's your guy, which I truly believe that Penix is that dude, I really do believe he is. Hell, you won't be complaining about it when they start winning. Right. You won't care.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to that is you look at Kirk's injury history, and the fact that there's no guarantee, and nobody knows the time frame if he's actually going to be 100% as the season starts. And so, if nothing else, you have what I call insurance at the quarterback position, and there's no guarantee that Kirk is going to survive this season without getting injured anyway. So if he does get injured. Well, yeah. I'm looking more so on the injury side, but if he gets injured somewhere throughout the season, now you don't have to be reaching trying to find, asking Tom Brady to come out of retirement or Matt Ryan or somebody you got.
No, sir. I mean, you didn't say Matt Ryan. You didn't say Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan can't never go back to
Atlanta. But you have a quarterback now that can come in and play right away, and hopefully the production not only not fall off but increases. So,
well, and more importantly, I think that most people felt going into the draft, I don't give a crap. I mean, take the injury history away. They felt like Penix was ready to play. He could step in and play. They were the injury of him having the ACL injury and the second ACL. That's what dropped him, or in most people's eyes, dropped him. You can't look at the performances that he's had and tell me you couldn't see that he has the talent.
What they were saying,
really, he was my second or third quarterback on the draft board.
They were saying he was the most pro ready.
Yeah,
I agree. The biggest question mark, if anything, that I have with the Atlanta Falcons is for all that you spend with your quarterbacks. And mind you, his rookie contract is going to be close to 35, between $30 and $40 million, even if they pick up that fifth-year option. And what you paid for this guy here, Kirk Cousins, you could have literally just signed Lamar Jackson last year. Could have gave him the money, and you wouldn't. You wouldn't be in this situation.
What I tell you, Lamar wasn't leaving Baltimore.
Look, we'll never know because the offer was never there.
I know.
And I'm gonna say this too. Hell, you could have had Lord, I don't forget. Justin, you could have had old boy from
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, you could have had him. Hell, you gonna tell me that you got more faith in Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury than Justin Fields?
Yeah, and Justin Fields, to me, at the end of the season, when he was, or I wouldn't say the end of the season, when he was healthy, he was not playing bad. He just didn't have weapons.
Dude, listen,
you give him weapons, and the O-line is different.
It's gonna haunt me, and we'll never know if they had put what they're surrounding Caleb with and let Justin go out there. I mean, who knows what he could have done?
Yeah.
But for the fact that you paid all that money to I cut for Kirk, but come on, coming off an Achilles injury, and you got this young, youthful ass quarterback over here that can't find a home. No, I don't understand it. And so to me, I think somebody came up. I think a lot of people may have wanted somebody else, and so they was willing to pull the trigger on Penix when he came through, because they were like, you ain't finna put my lifeline out here on somebody that's got coming off an Achilles injury, and then now I'm stuck. I think that was some decisions made. Now, if it works out, nobody will care. If it don't, we're gonna be looking for jobs. We're gonna be looking for jobs. But that's with anything.
What about let's talk some more about some of the other ones, top 10s.
Well, again, JJ McCarthy, I'm not, just because he led the team to the national, he just didn't have enough throws for me, like a lot of people said. So I think Jim Harbaugh hyped him up so good to where he ended up being the number 10 pick. But outside of that, I think, like I said, everything else kind of fell into place really with the top 10, maybe obviously with the surprise being Michael Penix. But JJ McCarthy, that was just a questionable pick for me.
And I believe that's who they wanted, and they didn't have to do anything crazy to get him. I believe that but I'm saying they had to do anything crazy to get him. They had to give up a whole slew of stuff because I don't know him. Who else wanted him? Who else wanted JJ other than?
I don't know, but what do y'all think the Giants did with Malik?
I mean, you had
to get Daniel Jones a weapon, but I thought that they knowing that you're going to move. Here's the thing, knowing that you're going to move on from him next year, I can see why they
move on from who? Daniel Jones?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
You think they
you think
know
they
that?
are?
Of course, because
You
he's not gonna have any guarantee money left. He's gone. And look, and I think if they can somehow, depend on where they fall this year, record wise, I think the player to look for is going to be Shador Sanders in up
Oh,
in New
good
York.
God, no. I
well,
don't.
I
I
mean,
don't. Mm-mm.
I wonder if that's why the Raiders didn't take a pick, because after they didn't
Well,
go
nobody
in
wanted to trade with him.
to get a quarterback.
Yeah, so just to give you all a little bit, what was going to happen was Minnesota, Denver, and the Raiders. They were all on the conference call together, and they they had discussed amongst the three on the quarterbacks they were going to take. And so what they expected to happen was going to be J.J. Bodnix and Michael Penix was going to go to the Raiders. But what happened was the Falcons messed it all up because nobody expected them to take a quarterback. So when they took Penix, that threw everything in. That threw everything up for grabs, and that's why um, the Minnesota Vikings traded up one pick swap, basically to make sure that the Jets didn't draft a quarterback.
I
But
would have took Bo Nix over McCarthy myself.
what were the Raiders on the phone with them for anyway? Because the Raiders were
No. What I'm saying is those three teams, they were all 11, 12, 13. They were all three pick, they were all going to take quarterbacks. But what happened was the Falcons at number 8 end up messing everything up. They took Michael Penix because that's the Raiders wanted Michael Penix. Initially they were trying to trade up to number 2 with Washington to get Jaden Daniels, but when Washington didn't want to go get trade with the Raiders, they ended up staying put, and so it was a conversation between those three teams because they were 11, 12, 13 that they were all going to get their quarterbacks and it was basically a gentleman's agreement that they weren't going to try to, take
that's
some.
interesting. That's interesting because I didn't know that the Raiders were interested in Jaden. It seemed like all the reports were saying that the Raiders were interested in Penix.
No. Jaden actually played for Antonio Pierce when he was in high school in the 707 stuff. So he played for him. So he played for him and Keyshawn Johnson. So they had that relationship way back when he was in high school and stuff. So that's why he wanted. That's why the Raiders wanted to trade up to number 2. But again, when that didn't happen, and they set their sights on Michael Penix.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Let's shift it a little bit.
Okay.
We talked about the top 10 picks. Let's talk about the top 10 teams. Who do you think came out the best in this draft?
Well, you want to take this one? I mean, I could go first, but I'll let Tanisha go if she
You
wants
said
to.
that top 10. I'll tell you that I think the Ravens did a good job in the draft because all the quarterbacks went, so they were able to get their pick of the litter there. I do think that Minnesota believes that they did a great job. I mean, they got who they wanted, and I think they have the people that they want on their draft board. I think the Chiefs did a good job in the draft too. I think they got the speed demon that they wanted, as well as the assume I can't. I'm not even about to butcher dude's name. As well. And Minnesota. I mean, when I say Minnesota, the Chiefs, the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
and I did like the Chiefs as well. Those are my four.
You going with
Just
those four, Darren? You got four different ones,
Well, I
or four
mean,
to add?
I, I do like the Chiefs. I mean, I cover this kind of, but yeah, I like what they did. It was funny because again, everybody's just shocked that Buffalo traded with the Chiefs. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And that's just questionable all the way. But the Chiefs, they addressed their speedy wide receiver issue, and then basically after that they were just drafted for depth. More so than anything else, and I think they did it. They didn't really have any needs outside of receiver for real going into the draft, and I think that they addressed that to a T. Obviously, Chicago, with the quarterback and the wide
mhm.
receiver, and then as much as people talked about the Falcons with drafting a quarterback, talking about what they need. Well, in the second, third, and fourth round, they addressed their defensive needs. So obviously, I would be remiss if I didn't say Philadelphia Eagles. They always
Mhm.
Howie Roseman just you
Yeah,
just
yeah. They
yeah
got it.
he He did a great job, and I think the Cleveland Browns, for a team that didn't have a first round pick, again, just following their team and dealing with their media people out there, they addressed a lot of they addressed some needs, but also added depth to it. I guess you could say the Cowboys, I guess, because they had
Yeah,
offensive line needs,
they did. They got
and
Tyler.
yeah,
Yeah,
so and I think, I think the Miami Dolphins did well as I think they did well. They had another speedy running back
running. Yeah, that's what to say.
in
They
the
had a
backfield.
Yeah,
speedy
they
running
did
back.
add some more
Yeah,
speed. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, they
So
added some more.
I think they did a good job. And even though I'm still questionable about why they traded with the Chiefs. I do like the fact that they did draft Keon Coleman with their first pick in the second round. That was who I was hoping that the Chiefs were going to get if he somehow could have fell to him maybe in the second round, because I like what he put on tape at Florida State. He's a big 6'4" wide receiver that can make plays, and that's, to me, I don't really like small receivers because I think you can
Oh
push them
yeah,
around and stuff like that. The Chiefs, to their credit, they'll be able to obviously do some stuff with
they'll
Worthy,
draw some plays up, and
but
he'll hook them up.
I would have liked to have seen when you get down, the 20 yards, because that's where they had a lot of problems scoring in the red zone last year, and the field shortens up, so having it 4-2 ain't really going to do you much good down there. I thought that they could have used a big receiver, but they did get a big tight end. I think in the later round, I think it's by
They
six
did
six. So yeah, so I like how.
from
I
TCU, I
like,
believe. I think they got the tight end from TCU.
yeah,
I will say this. I agree with you. It's he is small. You cannot deny the fact that he's a small guy. And I personally don't believe that he was the number one on his team, like Mitchell. I think Mitchell was was the better, or considered the better wide receiver on the team, but he fell, and he fell hard. And I kind of feel like he fell victim to, reminds me of like the 2017 draft when Deshaun Kaiser's coach came out and said, "Oh, he can be difficult because he was mad because he left Notre Dame." And he fell. He went from being like the number one guy to the second round. And something leaked out on Mitchell right before the draft, and to watch him be like the 11th picked wide receiver on the board, it's something to that. So I feel like he was a steal. He was a steal for the Colts. And I if the Chiefs had picked him, I wouldn't have been upset. Now,
Okay.
if there's truly some character issues or whatever, but if you go off what the Colts were saying, it put your name behind the complaints. You got all these quote unquote sources that are leaking things, but they don't have their names attached to them, and they're doing damage to these young kids. So
Yeah.
I would have, and I wouldn't have been mad at I wouldn't have been mad at Xavier Leggett either. I hope I'm not butchering his name either. I wouldn't have been mad if we got him either. But like I said, we got the speed. We have Hollywood Brown. But I'm like you, Darren. I would have, if I had to pick, I would have rather have a bigger guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's take a quick 30. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about which teams drafted poorly, if any, or did everybody get what they needed to. So we're gonna talk about that in 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
Okay.
That was a long 30 seconds because it was 60.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to say you didn't you double up. I was about to
Had me
say I
going to
think
sleep.
I
Stuff
I,
like that.
I did
yeah,
take a little
I
nap. Oh,
yeah. I was like you. I think you doubled up a little
yeah,
bit,
I
brother.
did. I did. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
I
did.
laugh at myself. All right, so that what we said, we got some news, but we want before we get to the news, do you think there's a team out there or teams that drafted poorly
See,
or
it's hard.
under
Sorry.
a D grade or something? Go ahead.
It's hard for me to really give a team a felony because I don't know every team's needs and what they're trying to address. So it's really hard for me to say, oh, this team. I just don't see why they draft what they did. I think for the most part, if they drafted for their needs, I think a lot of teams addressed it. I mean, look at the Carolina Panthers, as you just mentioned, Xavier Leggett. The Carolina Panthers traded up to get into to get take him in the first round because they didn't have a first round pick because it went to Chicago with the overall pick. So to get a wide receiver, which is something that Bryce Young needed, they addressed a need. So it's hard for me to say that a team, quote unquote, drafted poorly because I just don't know each individual team. So it would be unfair for me to put a bad grade on the team put a bad grade on a team.
I I think the team that sticks out to me that I feel like could have done a better job is the Raiders. The Raiders are very close in my opinion. They have a lot of the pieces that you need, but they picked Brock Bowers, which is the tight end. But I thought Michael Mayer, which is their tight end, hell is good. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe their scheme is going to be different. I
No,
thought
I
that was like a maybe like a best player left on board or best available or whatever.
Well, you
But
know
to
how I feel
me,
about Brock coming out of
I'm gonna be
I know
yeah,
honest.
from Georgia.
yeah,
Look,
I know from Georgia.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah.
be
what are you
honest.
going to do with Michael Mayer? I
I
mean, I
mean,
think are you
play
going
two
to get
tight
rid
end
of him?
sets. I mean, same thing the Chiefs
You
do.
can't. You can if that's what you're doing. But I mean, when they drafted him, hell, you had tons of damn wide receivers on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with that because look, they wanted a quarterback, but all the quarterbacks went in the top 12. I mean, they just wasn't any good quarterbacks left for them to take, and you're just not going to take a quarterback just
And
as you got one.
And I'm gonna tell you something else, and this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with it. If I'm the Raiders, I probably would have taken a chance on Spencer Rattler. Hell, he was damn near free. He was damn near Mr. Irrelevant. I think
I
I,
think the Saints got him.
I
The
think
Saints, the
yeah,
Saints did get him. They
they
did
did.
get him.
But I think
Yeah,
I think if I looked around my quarterback room and I had what they had, I think I might would have taken a chance. I mean, it appears that they went back and seen some footage when he was like 17 years old, and they thought that was footage that would, this is a grown ass man now, and I think I would have taken a chance on Spencer Rattler.
I
And
don't
yeah,
have
like
a problem with that, but not in the first round.
yeah.
no,
But I
no,
do
no,
like I
no. But
like the
I said he
Bowers
was
pick.
damn near free
Yeah,
because he was so far. Hell, I
Yeah,
stayed. I couldn't turn and drop off until the dude got picked.
but
yeah,
I do think with the Raiders, they feel like they might. I mean, granted, I know you got Aiden
Yep,
O'Connell from last year, and who was it, Jimmy Garoppolo or no, Gardner Minshew. Look, I think if you're the Raiders, you
that's
might
their quarterback room.
right,
Minshew
but
and
I think
Aiden O'Donnell.
right, but I think if you're the Raiders, you might feel like you can pick up somebody, as training camp comes, and someone gets
yeah.
cut or something like that.
Somebody
But
gets cut.
also,
Yeah.
I mean, look,
You could have had Justin Fields for a 6th round pick.
well, perhaps, but I mean,
I
but look,
mean, perhaps
I mean,
What you see? That truth. I mean, that's
I,
truth.
that's a
But
true story.
no,
yeah,
well, I get it. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't see a problem with strengthening your strength. You're strengthening your offense. I mean, look, we sit back and talk about the Chiefs with Hollywood Brown and now Worthy and Pacheco. I mean, we talk about their strength and how we always talk about how Mahomes need more and more and more. Okay, well, you put in this offense, you
Cool.
giving what I'm saying is you giving her the playmaker alongside Devontae Adams. You talk about Michael Mayer.
You
He
already
was
got a
okay.
playmaker. You got Jacoby.
but somebody got thrown the ball though.
That's my point.
That's the same thing. I go
Well,
back to the Giants.
the
You can draft
season
all the
hasn't
wide
started
receivers in the
yet.
world.
You still
Somebody
have
got thrown the
time.
ball. Huh?
Yeah,
And
but
now, granted, they may have their eyes on somebody from next year. They may, like you said, it may be
Shador Sanders.
yeah, Sanders. They may have said, you know what, we're gonna hold this out. We're gonna hold out, and then we'll figure it out. Worst worst case scenario, I got Gardner Minshew. They may make playoffs or whatever. Listen, they were
And the Raiders did come to Kansas City and beat the Chiefs with a backup quarterback. So I mean, so
they,
it's
they did,
so
and it was based off of their defense. Their defense was on his ass. I mean, they was on him like white on rice. But like I said, that is not gonna work because I don't think they even threw the damn ball in the second half or whatever. So I mean, that's not okay. They got lucky as far as I'm concerned. That was one of that was a lucky thing. But I think there were some opportunities out there to grab. And like you said, Brock himself, I have nothing against him. He's a great pickup.
I
But
actually thought that's who Atlanta should have drafted, but that's just me.
okay, well they already had
You know what? Yeah,
they had
But
that's a
again,
good
you're just
that's a good
strengthening your
point.
offense.
but
I mean,
if
you
you
get
but if you're going to the two tight end front, I mean if you want to go the
he
old
can
school
also line up as
Patriots,
a receiver too.
if
I
you
mean,
want,
we
yeah.
seen him line up
We've
as a
seen
receiver,
that.
so
Yeah.
it's
He's
not
got
like
hands, he can block. He's a full package.
No, I
yeah.
mean, like I said, as a player, Brock was one of my favorite guys. I know they have a serviceable tight end. Mayor, I think he's done very well for them. So it just threw me off a little bit that they went that route. But like I said, I believe that the person that their GM is known for taking the best available player on the board too. And at that time, it was Brock.
Okay. All right. So we had a little news hit.
Oh, we
So
did.
let's talk about that.
Zeke, baby.
Zeke and Kelsey. Talk
Let's
about it.
start with Zeke first.
Okay.
Who never
Yeah, that's
should have
your
left?
team. Go ahead.
Who
Go
never?
ahead.
Who never should have left the Cowboys in the first damn place? Is now back home where he needs to be. Now, this is my problem, Zeke. I do not want your ass to come in there out of shape and get in shape at on game 4. Do me a favor. Come into camp ready to go and show these people they never should have got rid of you in the first place. You're gonna get so much love when you walk in that stadium. Any real Cowboy fan is gonna welcome Zeke with open arms. So do me a favor and don't pull that bullshit and come in here fat and it take you 4 games to get in shape. Come in ready to go and let's roll.
All right.
Now you talk
Go
about
ahead, Darren. You talk about Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey signed a contract extension, $34.5 million to make him the highest paid tight end in NFL.
Rightfully
history.
so.
Yeah.
Rightfully
Oh
so.
yeah. Long overdue.
Long overdue.
And so
Absolutely.
he was going into his last year, going into his last year on this contract. So it's very good that he's being rewarded for, his production on and off the field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's not anybody that it does not agree that Kelsey is the man right now. I don't give a shit how old he is. He's still the guy because at the end of the day, when the Chiefs needed him, he came, he did what he needed to do, and they got that Super Bowl. And he ran faster than he ever ran.
Right.
So
And to be that much of a threat and you ain't even catching the ball ain't even getting thrown to you, and you still that much of a threat. That says a lot for him. Yeah, he frustrated a lot of us, I think, this season. So did a lot of the team, but I'm happy for him.
But I'm
I'll say this.
I'm gonna tell you, I love the mic'd up because Valdez Scanlon caught his touchdown in the Super Bowl, he was like, "All eyes on me, baby." They were so worried about Kelsey. Hell, he was wide open, and
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm a Kelsey
Wide
fan.
open. Wide
What
open.
I love Kelsey.
Yeah.
What I like most about what they're doing is that they address, and this is one thing that I talked about going into the off season, that they addressed the needs that they needed to do, which was the wideouts, because now, and especially what you look what they got in the draft and Hollywood Brown. Now you can, this contract allows you for Kelsey to actually extend his playing career. Obviously monetarily, it's one thing, but if you put the right weapons around,
Yeah.
you can't focus solely on Kelsey, which means his production may dip just a little. Well, I mean, compared to the previous years, his production quote unquote dip, but he sat out the first game and it was into the first game and sat out the last game. But I think now with the additional weapons that they have, and you got to worry about Pacheco and all the speed that's out there. I believe now that now you get a chance to actually extend his playing career because he won't take as many hits this upcoming season like he did last year? Because last year he took a lot of hits.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown's going to stretch the field out. I think they're going to be doing a lot of, I don't want to say gadget with Xavier, but he's going to be doing some things that are different. But I think that deep threat is going to be Hollywood Brown. We hope we get Rasheed Rice back or whatever. It's going to be so much mismatch. I agree with you. This is the opportunity to extend Kelsey's career. Unlike last year when it could have been over at any time because we didn't have a whole lot. And I like what they did this time.
A rough year.
I hope this year I'm not going viral. I think
we're not gonna have that. So let's just jump back real quick to Zeke, right? So Zeke, and then you got
Zeke, baby.
Dak needs. You think Zeke is an ally for Dak?
Dude, man, yeah. I think they pump each other up. I think they pump each other up. I mean, he gonna be happy as hell to see Zeke in that halter top. You know what I mean? Zeke gonna come in there showing his 6-pack in that halter top.
Did you say the halter top?
What you call it? What you call it? But as long as he's got a 6-pack on it and he looked that manly, hell, I'm rolling with it. I love it. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Just tell me he all
Are
man.
you concerned about that?
I think I will say this. When I was at your house watching the game when Green Bay, when y'all was heckling and torturing me, what scares me about Dak is there was a moment in that game, and you guys go back and look at it if you want to, that he looked like I saw fear in his eyes. And when you
he always looks like that when they're losing.
Unnecessary roughness. I said that game.
He's always looking like that when they're losing.
He looked like he had some fear in his eyes, and that scared me, and that made me think about Dak a little bit different. But I'm gonna tell you what, fear can be good. You might want to take that fear and do something with it, because I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last rodeo, and maybe it's Trey Lance behind him that is about to take over.
Oh, if
maybe
you don't get it done, they're not gonna keep him. Jerry Jones. Yeah. I think his career ain't over. I think he'll go somewhere else.
No, he can go somewhere. I
think that's what scares Jerry Jones about letting him go. If he goes somewhere else and he shines, then you are the problem.
Here's the problem. It's hard to play for Jerry.
Yeah.
Because Jerry likes to be controlled. And I think what the Cowboy fans need and what we want is that dog in him. That somebody to go in there and be like, hell no, we about to do this, we about to do that. And Dak is too much of a good guy to go in there and he want to be on the straight and narrow and be the good guy for the franchise. No, we need some I can't think of old boy name now. We need people eating with their fingers, not with knives and forks.
Jameis Winston.
No, that wasn't Jameis. Hell no. That was old boy that choke slam. The dude, okay. I can't think.
Well, I know Jameis was eating W's.
We eating them W's. No, but I'm saying they need somebody that's gonna go in there and eat with their fingers and not with knives and forks. And like I said, Dak gonna have to dig in himself and be willing to go all out and be like, the hell would you talk about? Yes, you call something that is not gonna work. We're gonna do what we need to do. And he got to man up and start doing it. I think that's what his team is looking for. Because if you know anything about being a Cowboy fan, hell, they had all kinds of problems going on in training camp and stuff. So yeah,
we'll see.
Make sure when you're talking about Dak, you use no Diddy, because you're using a lot of double entendres and
I'm not gonna. I ain't said nothing about no Diddy. You keep that shit to yourself.
You talking about Dak digging?
No, I ain't calling
Dak digging into somebody.
I'm not doing that to Dak. You ain't putting that shit in my mouth. No, I did not. No, I did not. Dak is still the Cowboys quarterback. All I'm saying is Dak might want to grab a sack and let him know it's time to go. That's all I'm saying.
My goodness. All right.
No, I ain't saying nothing about no Diddy. You keep that nonsense to yourself.
Okay. All right. Take a deep breath. Don't get her going. Don't get her going.
No, don't do that.
I'm messing with you.
No.
Darren, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on social media at Darren Smith NFL. You can catch me on the ship on KLKC Radio. Or klkcradio.com over the weekends, and follow me on social media for all my Chiefs updates and live video streams and stuff.
All right.
All right.
Hang out. We're gonna come back to you after the show and talk to you. So just hang out. Don't go nowhere, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Oh, let me pop him back in. Let me pop you back in because I ain't say thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
always show up when we
You know,
need you.
and
Last minute, and we really do appreciate it. We love you. We
You're
got nothing but
welcome.
love for you. You know that.
Darren is like a brother to us. So
Yeah.
we go hard up in here for anybody new that's joining it. That's
Yep.
what we do in here. Is no disrespect because he's not a new guy. Go back
No.
and get the other seasons.
No. So
Yeah,
he
you
get
just
it.
can't get these women to answer their phone when you call. That's
Yeah.
the only problem.
Tanisha don't answer her phone. I answer my phone.
Hey,
I
Tanisha,
don't
Yeah,
know
you
why
do
you
answer, you
call.
just
I
don't
don't know
call
why you
back.
call her first, and then I
You,
do say
dude,
I'm gonna call
Tanisha
you
is
no,
right now.
recovering from knee
no, hold on.
replacement surgery.
Hold on.
Knee replacement.
I called her yesterday, and as soon as I did, my phone said call forward. I said, "Oh no, the hell she didn't." So then I called
Nah.
you, and you was like, "Oh, Tanisha's had knee surgery." I said, "What? Her 6'1" already?" So
Hey, it's number 10, but hey, this is the
Ain't no
last
telling what's
one.
going on with Tanisha. Will call me. I call her back 2 seconds later.
well, I don't know.
I don't speak to her
Hold
for
on.
days.
Here's the funny thing. I called Tanisha. I think it was Saturday, whenever I think Lakers or something played because Pat was on the golf course and she's posting a video on Twitter, but she can't answer her phone. I said, "Oh, this is this
That's
little
Tanisha.
Dude,
naysayer out
If it
here."
was any
Okay,
different, it wouldn't be Tanisha.
you know
That's
what I'm
why I
exactly.
love her.
saying?
And here's the thing. I'm one of those friends. I don't have to talk to you every day. Just know I love you. And if you really
When
need me
I
to say,
call,
hey,
that means you need to
Nisha,
be answering because I
nah,
might try to see what kind of
that
bet you
Well,
got
nah.
going
here
on.
I
I'm gonna
got a
tell
lot
you.
of people that call.
I'm
Tell
gonna
him,
tell you
Linda.
a
Hold on,
secret.
I ain't there.
Tell him the saying.
I'm gonna tell
Tell him what's going on for real.
what
You
the
know,
I don't
secret.
care. I don't care about the cheese being made out the moon or moon
nah.
being made out the cheese. I don't care about
Nah,
none of that.
she about to give you the special sauce. If you
I'm gonna
need
give you
me,
the
it's one
special
way to
sauce.
roll. Go ahead and let him know.
If you need something from Tanisha, you need to use that word.
I
Because if
need
I
it.
tell Tanisha I need you to do something, it's done. If I say I want you to do something, can you do something? She don't understand that. She understands need. And
Need
that goes back to years ago. Over 20
96.
something years
I
ago.
needed both of
96.
you women to show up to the Super Bowl the last couple of years, but y'all left me out there high and dry. But that's cool. That's cool.
We're
Next
That's
year,
gonna be
cool.
in
No,
we're
no,
gonna
no.
be in
hey,
New Orleans. We're gonna
hey,
be in New
next,
Orleans this
I
year.
want
hey,
y'all now.
hey,
You
next
don't
year.
want us?
I
Oh,
want y'all
what?
now. I
Oh,
want y'all
Unnecessary
now.
roughness.
You know what I'm saying?
Next year
Well, I
say I
wanted you to
need
come. You didn't want
y'all.
to come.
Yes, next year say I need y'all, and there and we'll be there.
right. You didn't
You
say you
up
said I
here?
want y'all to come.
Yeah, you up
Just
here
say
talking
I
about
need
want.
y'all. We'll be there.
No, yeah,
Oh
wants
We'll
go
be
man.
by
there.
the wayside
All right.
into my
We
hometown.
we gonna wrap this up. Hold on, Darren. We'll be back
All
with you.
right.
Again, thank you.
All right.
All right, Tanisha, what you got? What you want to close out with?
Oh, so let me tell y'all, this is not even, I just have thoughts. And here it is. I watched them clown the Chicago in the WNBA for not rolling out the red carpet for Angel Reese. They felt like they didn't do enough for her. They rolled the red carpet out for Caitlin. The other young lady, her tribal people came. They did a little dance the whole night. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Cut the shit. Angel and Cardoso, y'all better get right.
They working. They
They
working.
working
They
hard.
doing their thing. I don't
They
even
on
think
they on
they.
that they on that Rocky where they carrying the log. Everybody else is up in the gym looking pretty. They carrying logs on their back. They grinding it out. They doing what they need to do. Stop playing with the
It's
nonsense.
it's the media. The media wants you to see what they want you to see. So they made a point. It's a lot of those people that go to press conferences. It's not all the fanfare
Tired of
that
that.
people think. So, and I like it. I like what she said. I like what she's doing. She's already in there. Look like pumping up her team. They had some clips and stuff
Man,
coming. So,
what?
we got. We're gonna do. This is very rare for us. We do two shows. So we got another show coming up this week that will drop on Thursday, and we have our special guest, Coach Marsh from the two-time WNBA champion, Las Vegas Aces. He's gonna take some time out and come and sit and chat with us again, like he did last year. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, a lot of media hype, a lot of stuff, but trying to put people in negative light, and it's horrible because
Their
two
kid.
things can be right. So it doesn't have to be this person's wrong and that person's right. Both can be wrong or both can be right. So um that's all I got, Tanisha. So
You know how it is.
okay.
Tell them, Linda. Let
I
them know
tell
what's
them,
going
like,
on.
like we tell you every week, folks, please be kind, be blessed. It's free. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.